What's good, YouTubes? Penguin321 here. I got a deck I'm going to show you guys that I've been testing around with. It's DDD, like I said a couple videos ago. I've been trying to buy back into the game slowly but surely. I only have 13 cards in the extra deck. The missing cards are Omega and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I've borrowed them for a couple tournaments, but I just don't have them yet. I'm waiting for a format change before I really want to invest in like big money cards. And I don't know if I'm going to even try to pick up Desires yet. I just don't find them necessary for how much they are. And I'm only planning on really playing at locals for now, so I don't want to invest too heavily into standard cards like that. But anyway, let's get started with the deck. We got DD Orthros, just spell and trap hate, and it can just special itself whenever you would take damage, so it's kind of cool. We got Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, blows up Tanky, blows up Mirror Match contract cards, gets rid of other standard things you might want off the field that just happen to activate. This is one of my special techs I've really been testing around with, Curry Bandit. Like I said, I don't have Desires, so it's just that extra thing, and you don't always need your normal summon for the turn, especially if you don't have Kepler in hand or if you don't need to summon a Copernicus. So it's just something I've been testing around with. I tried 2 of them, but I really wasn't liking 2. It's just, I think 1 is just that solid. If you have it, summon it, go for it. Especially just after your plays, because if you push a bunch of damage battle phase, or if you just don't have anything main phase 2, you can just summon it, end phase, sack it off, get to your next spell card. A lot of the time it gets you right to your next contract, gets you to an allure that can get you somewhere. It helps a lot more often than not. Plus it just sets up Necro Slime plays, it sets up any Genghis plays with things in the graveyard because it just sends those other 4 cards. Double Maxi, standard, if your opponent special summons, draw some cards. Ragnarok, staple 3 of in my opinion. 22 huge, banishes anything it wants by sacking off a DD monster, and it's the easiest thing in the world to summon. Triple Kepler, it's your Stratos of the deck. When normal or special, it lets you add a contract card, so no more explanation of that. Lamia, 3 of. I think this could be dropped down to 2 if I found something more important to run, but I think the card's just too standard right now, so I just run 3 of it. All you do is you send a dark contract card from your field to the grave to special summon it from hand or grave, and then if you summon it by that effect, you banish it when it leaves the field. Triple Necro Slime, too good not to run. When it's in the graveyard, banish it and another DD monster. Fusion summon a DD monster from your extra deck, filling the requirements. Swirl Slime, 10 times better than Necro Slime, but it's still also standard. Send from your field to, or send from your hand to the grave with another DD monster, fusion summon another one, and then it also has a secondary effect that lets you banish it from your graveyard to special any DD monster from your hand, which I find to be a lot more relevant than Necro Slime at times, just because you can just special Ragnarok, you can special Savant Savant Thomas. It just triggers Genghis. It's just Genghis plays for days. The card's nuts. Copernicus, just that extra mill. Normal or special, you can mill a Dark Contract or a DD monster. I don't usually mill the contract, doesn't come up too often, but milling an extra monster can be game saving at times. Mill a Swirl Slime if you're stuck with a Ragnarok in hand. Any kind of combo play like that. Savant Thomas, this card's broken. I could probably bump it down to 2, just that way I'm not seeing 3. I run 3 of right now because I am running trade-ins in the deck, because as I said, I don't have Desires. So that is why it's maxed to 3. It's a pen 6, but when it's on field, you can pop one of your Pendulum Zones to special summon a level 8 DD monster from your deck. It negates its effects and everything, but it's just a free Yuga summon for the most part, or if you just want to push super damage, it's also there as a play. It's super good. 1-for-1, special Lamia, special Kepler. I don't think it needs much more explanation than that. Foolish Burial. I have a love-hate relationship with this card. It's alright. It definitely can win some plays if you have the plays already set up. It can send Necro Slime, it can send a Swirl Slime if you have something to combo in hand. But there are also some hands where it really just doesn't have anything, where even if it mills whatever it feels like milling, you just don't have the combo pieces to go along with it. So it does have its dead times, but I think more often than not, it's a great card to have. It just mills it. Upstart Goblin, because 39 card decks are awesome. This guy lets you fuse from, it's like a miracle fusion more or less. You can send DD monsters from your field or hand to the graveyard, or you can banish DD monsters from your graveyard to fusion summon a DD monster from your extra deck with meeting the requirements. Double allure, because I do not like 3 allures. I think it's just too inconsistent. I tested 3 allures, and I mean, they would go off more often than not, but I really don't want to banish my combo pieces too often. So activating 2 allures in a turn, or even 3 allures in a turn, sometimes can be more negative than it is positive. So I bumped it down to 2. Trade-ins, as I said, I do not own Desires. I do not want to own Desires. So, trade-in. Dark Contract with the Gate. It's another Stratos. Searches any DD monster that you want once per turn, and then you take 1,000 damage. The contract card, the Swamp King, also takes 1,000 damage every standby phase. Everything pretty much does that. But it takes 1,000 damage every standby, and then once per turn you can search a DD monster. Staple, broken, standard of the deck. Dark Contract with the Witch. Pretty good. Once per turn, you can discard a DD or Dark Contract from your hand to the grave, target 1 card on the field, pop it. But the other thing that it has, and I know I saw Jeff Jones mentioning about it, people not even keeping track of it, is during your opponent's turn, your DD monsters gain 1,000 attack. So that's super relevant if they're not paying attention, and it's just super relevant in general because it means they can't just attack over your already big monsters, because it makes Ragnarok a 32, it makes Genghis super big, like it's just super relevant. The card's broken, and it's continuous. And then you got Emptiness, because this card has been in the game forever, and this card is a standard and broken. I think most everything should run it. This card's broken. But extra deck, Formula Synchron, because Kepler and Lamia makes Formula Synchron that just draws you a card. I know it's a German, for those that don't know. It's a level 2 that on Synchro Summon, it's a Synchro Tuner, it lets you draw a card. So there's that. Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, too good. Just combos for days with your Pendulum monsters, because they're like all Pendulums. Alexander, it's your secondary Genghis. You can use it with Lamia and Genghis to get extra summons off if you're trying to combo up a field. Alexander, just when another DD monster specialed, you can special one from graveyard, and then he can also, yeah. Siegfried, too good. Scarlet Red Dragon, if you just need to blow an entire field up, you can blow an entire field up, and he just happens to deal 500 damage per blown up card to your opponent, and that can be super relevant at times, especially if your opponent's already comboed off and done a whole bunch of, or have like 3 or 4 monsters out. Even that can be 2,000 damage. It's a relevant amount. Beowulf, because if you use a DDD monster and a DD, it makes, to fuse it, it makes every DD monster on the field a Piercer, and he's 3,000, so that's broken. King to Arc, like all the contracts do 1,000 damage during the standby, and his effect makes it so instead of that, you gain the life instead, and it's a 28 beater, so he's super relevant. Genghis, probably Heart and Soul fusion to the deck. When you special a monster, when you special a DD monster, he brings one back from the graveyard, and then when he dies, he adds a contract back from your graveyard to your hand. Heart and Soul, first thing you summon almost every time. Galaxy and Kali Yuga. But that's the deck. As I said, the extra deck's only 13. I'm missing 2 cards. If I had the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon and I had the Omega, they would be in the deck. I want to put a Librarian in the deck. I don't know how that got missed at some point. Because Copernicus, Lamia, and whatever other level 4s you could happen to get are easy Librarian plays. And then if you synchro into Alexander, that's just free draw plays. So I'm probably going to fill one of these slots with a Librarian. I'm not sure on what the 15th slot is going to end up being filled until I get Crystal Wing and Omega. So we'll end up seeing how that goes. But yeah, that's the deck. If you like the video, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, expect more content. I will be doing a Zodiac deck profile with a friend of mine going to the Omaha, Nebraska regionals this weekend. So I will get that up on YouTube sometime within the next week. So stay tuned to that. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.